First of all, we have to know what you understand by problem solving. So, problem solving is the act of defining a problem, determining the cause of the problem, identifying, prioritizing, and selecting attractiveness of a solution, and implementing a solution. So, what are the learning outcome of problem solving? Discuss the way to solve a problem. Solve problems using inductive and deductive reasoning. Solve problem with the various methods. So basically, what is a problem? If we are asking, what do you understand by the problem, or what is a problem means? So problem is anything which may be improved in a situation. In the workplace, may a communication task. Your performs are designed to solve a problem or improve a situation. Whether you are doing work for a client, for your employers, within your team, or for someone else, you will typically use some sort of design process to tackle and solve the problems. A certainly articulated design process provides you with a clear startup plan for finding the best solution for your situation. Take a moment to search the internet from the term design process and look at the image. You will find many variations. Have a look at several of them. See if you can find out of them. So success, or in terms like in simple term, we can say problem solving is used in many disciplines, sometimes with different perspective and often with different terminologies. For intense, it is a mental process. For this, it is a psychological and a computerized process in computer science. Problem can also be classified into different types, that is ill-defined and well-defined. So here you can see there is a quote, what is the secret of success? So that there is a right decision, right? If you take a right decision, it's led to the success of your life. Next question, how do you make right decision? If you experience the things, then only you will make a right decision. And third question is, how do you gain experience? So these are three of the main question of a person you can see over your screen. So how do you gain experience? By using wrong decision. Next comes to problem can be classified, as I've told you, in two ways, ill-defined and well-defined, from which appropriate solutions are to be made. Ill-defined problems are those that do not have clear goals, solution paths, or expected solution. Well-defined problems have specific goal, clearly defined solution paths, and clear expected solution. These problems also allow for more internal planning than ill-defined problem. So here you can see over your screen there is a question, problem can also be an opportunity. They allows you to see the things in a very different position and in a different way. Perhaps if you are facing problem in any of the situation, start with a new, or we can start with a fresh, so that we can just rectify all those problems. Now next comes to the idea. What is idea? Being able to solve problem sometimes involves dealing with the ideas and semantic interpretation of the problem. The ability to understand what the goal of the problem is and what rules could be applied represent the key to solving the problem. Sometimes the problem requires some abstract thinking and coming up with a creative solution. So what is a problem? Basically, what is a problem all about? A doubtful or a difficult matter requires a solution. Something hard to understand or accomplish or deals with. Everybody can benefit from having good problem solving skills, as we all encounter problems on a daily basis. Some of these problems are obviously more so or complex than others. It would be wonderful to have the ability to solve all problems effectively and in a timely fashion without difficulty. Unfortunately, there is no one way in which all problems can be solved. You will discover as you read through our pages. So what is ideal? Whatever issue you are faced with, some steps are fundamental, like identify the problem, define the problem, see the options, take some action plan, look at the consequences. So these is the ideal model of problem solving. So how we can identify any problem? If there is a question, how we can identify the problem? So like we have to see now where is the problem occur, from which situation this problem has been occurred. So we have to see everything. Next comes to the define a problem. That is what the problem is all about. Like if we are booking any of the chapters or something, so what's the reason of that problem, where it has been occurred? So we have to see that as well. Okay, so defining problem in a simple term, we can say not all diverse learner develop accurate problem solving. Learners with a history of behavior and learning challenges may not able use good problem solving skills. So ideal problem solving method, when it is organized on 1984, published one of the most popular and well regarded problem solving method. It used both in industry and in education to help various learners establish a problem, generate solution, and move forward quickly and effectively. By teaching your learner each step of idea model, you can provide them set of steps to approach a problem with confidence. So I have defined the identify the problem. Next comes to the define the problem or define the outcome. What does mean? The second step in ideal problem solving process is to define an outcome or goal for solving. Multiple people can agree that a problem exists but have very different ideas on goals or outcome. By deciding on an outlined objective first, it can speed up the process of identifying solution. Defining outcomes and goals may be difficult step for some diverse learner. The result does not need to be complicated, but just clear for everyone involved. Let's discuss some example of defining outcome. I want to do well on my maths quiz. I get access to the course website. Now next comes to explore possible strategies. It means once you have an outcome, encourage your learner to brainstorm possible strategies. All possible solutions should be on the table during this stage. So encourage learners to make lists. Use sticky notes or voice memo to record any ideas. If your learner struggles with creative idea generation, help them to develop a plan of resources for who they might consult in explorational stage. Let's have some example of this. I review the textbook. I ask for maths help from a friend. I look up the problem outline. I emailed my teacher. So this is the best example to examine any option. Okay. Second example, I use something else from a dress bag. I place an online order for bags. I take dress out without a bag. I ask a neighbor for a bag and I go shopping for trash bags. Next comes to anticipation, outcome and act. Once we generate a list of strategies, the next steps in ideal problem solving method recommend that you review the potential steps and decide which one is the best option to use first, helping learners to evaluate the pros and cons of the action. Start and take practices. Ask question what might happen if you take this step, or does this step make you feel good about moving forward or uncertain? After evaluating the outcome, the next step to take action. Encourage your learner to move forward. Even they may not know the full result of taking action. Support doing something, even if it might not be same strategies you might take to solve a problem or the best solution. Now come L. L means look at the consequences, or look and learn, you can say. The steps in the ideal problem solving model is to take and learn from an attempt to solve a problem. Let's take the example of parents and teachers. Many parents and teachers forgot their critical steps in handling diverse learners to stop and reflect when problem solving goes well. Does not go well, helping our students and children learn from experience can make problem solving more effective and effective in the future. Ask questions like how did they go and what do you think you will do differently next time. Let's look some example and learn statement. Let's take first of the example. I ran out of track bag because I forgot to put them on the shopping list. I will buy an extra box of dress bag to have them on hand so I do not run out next time. Second example, I did not learn the problem from looking at the textbook, but it did helps to call a friend. I will share their next time. So these are the ideals issue by which you can solve your other problems. Okay, so how to teach an ideal problem solving method? Top businesses and corporations spend thousands of dollars on training team to implement problem-solving strategies like the ideal method. Employees practice and role-play common problems in the workplace. Coach gives supportive feedback until everyone feels confident in each of the steps. Teachers and parents can use the same process to help students, and children use the ideal problem solving method. Set aside time to review common problems or social scenarios your learners might encounter. Practice using ideal method. I hope this topic has been clear to you. Now next comes to the next topic, that is skill model. Now what do you understand by skills? Skills is basically it is an analytical and the creative skills to solve any of the problem. Okay, so what are skills? What do you understand by skills and how you can just get rid of this? One by one, we just learn through all these skills techniques. So skills is basically solving these problems which particular skills are needed. Will vary depending on the problem you are role in the organization. In other situation, using creatively or literally thinking will necessary to come up with the ideas for resolving the problem and find fresh approach. Further, skills such as communication, persuasion, and negotiation are important in finding solutions to the involving period. Illogical methodology approach is one best in circumstances which can help to able and draw on the academic subjects. Postponed evaluating alternative initially include and involve individual in granting of alternatives. Now, developing your analytical and problem solving skills. How you can do that? First, it helps, these are the various steps how we can solve the problems. So here you can see over your screen, evaluate the problem, then gather the information, break the problem into the parts, identify solution, select the best solution, take action, examine result and take review. Let's discuss one by one. What is evaluating a problem? So, evaluating a problem means clarifying the nature of the problem. Basically, what we have to understand from where that problem may occur. So, we have to think about that first. Communication as a way to solve problem in one of the most productive and rewarding technique we found so far in the career. I do not think I would be believed in the 5 years of centuries. So, as we all know, evaluating each potential solution weighted its advantage and the disadvantage to facilitate decision making. Huge different techniques such as SWOT analysis, that is strength, weakness, opportunity and trends. Further, we will discuss this techniques in a brief method. Before that, next comes to the next technique, that is decision making matrix. Advantage and disadvantage of list. Last, risk assessment. After evaluating, choose the most suitable solution based on effectiveness, cost, and time constant. Define the desired result. Next comes to the managing the problem or monitoring the solution. Implementation, the chosen solution are monitored its progress. It may include communicating the solution to relevant parties, selecting timeless or milestone, assigning tasks and responsibilities, monitoring the solution and making adjustment as necessary, evaluating the effectiveness of solution after implementing, utilize feedback from stakeholders and consider potential improvement. Remember, the problem solving is an ongoing process. Next comes to the problem solving technique, or where we have to take the decision. Okay, so how we have to take the decision? There are various steps, like we have to do the brainstorming, then root cause analysis, SWOT analysis, mind mapping. So these are some of the things which we can do for making decision making. Deciding between the problem option or what actions to be taken, or which action is good to clarify that problem. Next comes to how to resolve the problem. Take the best solution from among all other solutions and then implement that and see the review process. That is the resolving the problem. Next comes to evaluating the option. What are the plus and the minus point? Where you have to change the thing. You have to separate the evaluation of the option from the selection of option. Then it comes to examining the result. When you have just doing the first you identify the problem, then you select the method, then you implement that method. Next comes to examining result. What is the examining result? That monitor the outcome of that action plan. Are you satisfied with that plan or not? So that means examining or follow up with the plans. Now select an option or the options. When we are facing various problems, we have to take various steps and we have to take best out of that. Document the agreement. Do not rely on the manual. Writing it down will help you to think through all details and implementation. Agreement monitored and consequential. Monitored basically means communicating the solution to the relevant practices, settling timeline or milestones, assigning tasks and responsibilities, monitoring the solution and make adjustment as necessary, evaluating the effectiveness of the solution. After implementation, utilized feedback from stakeholder and considered potential improvement. Next comes to this, you can see a demanding cycle or a PDSA cycle. Before that, we have to just know the techniques of the problem solving. Before going further, just first know the techniques of these of problem solving. About the brainstorming, root cause analysis, a method that explores the underlying causing of a problem to find the most effective solution rather than addressing the symptoms. So sorry, SWOT analysis we will discuss further. Now next topic comes to the PDCA cycle. What do you understand by PDCA? That means plan, P for plan, do, study and act. So PDCA cycle may the fourth step model for carrying out changes. Just a circle has no end. The PDCA cycle should be repeated again and again for the continuous process. So when to use the PDCA cycle? When we have to use this cycle. So PDCA cycle is used to start a new improvement in the project, developing a new or improved design of a process, product or service, define a representative work process, planning data collection and analyze in order to verify and prioritize problems or root causes, implementing any changes, working towards continued improvement. So the plan do check procedure. What do you understand by plan? Recognized an opportunity and plan a change. What do you understand by do in this? Test the change. Carry out a small scale study. Then, what do you understand by check in this? Review the test, analyze the result, and identify what you have learned. Next is act. Act means take action based on what you learned in study step. If the change did not work, go through the cycle again with a different plan. If you were successful incorporated, what you learn from the text into wider changes. Use what you learn to plan new improvement. Begin the cycle again. So we have certain examples also for the PDCA. The PDCA model was basically structured for the districts, overall strategic planning, needs analysis, curriculum design and delivery, staff goals, settings and evolution, provision of student services and support services, classroom instructions. Now, what is planning? If we are taking the example of any classroom, so planning means the A plus approach begins with planning steps, with the school district health analysis. In this step, students' needs are analyzed by examining a range of data variables. The data reviewed includes everything from grades to perform on a standardized test. Data can be analyzed for individual students or satisfied by grade, gender, or any other subgroup, because PDCA does not satisfy how to analyze data. A separate data analyze process. What do you understand by doing this? What we have to do? There are two do steps. The align steps ask what the nation and state standards requires and how they will assist. Teaching staff also plan circular by looking at what is taught at early and later grade labels and in other disciplinaries to ensure a clear continuously of instruction throughout the student schooling. Next, what we can do in this, the act step is where instruction is provided. Follow the curriculum and teach goals. Within set parameters, teachers vary the delivery of instruction based on each student, learning rate and styles. So how we have to check that? Formal and informal assessment take places continuously from daily teacher assessment to 6-week process report, annual standardized test. Teachers also can access comparative data on the electronic database to identify tests. High needs students are monitored by a special child study team. Throughout the school year, if assessment shows students are not learning as expected, mid-course corrections are made, such as re-instructions, changing methods. Assessment data become input for the next step in the cycle. Now, what we have to act basically in this example means the act step of standardizing when goals are met. The curriculum design and teaching method are considered standardized. Teachers share best practices in formal and informal setting. Results from this cycle become input for the analyzed phase of the next A plus approach. I hope this topic and this example has been clear to you all. So what is the problem solving process? What do you understand by the problem solving process? So problem solving process basically means how we have to, solve that problem. We have to, first find out where is the problem, then idea of finding, then we have to find the solution. So one by one, we will discuss what are the steps involved in the problem solving. So here you can see in 1953, Alexa applied imagination principle, producer of creative problem solving. He helps the book one of the write about brainstorming and creative, the structured process. There are various techniques, we have already discussed what are the techniques like brainstorming, mind setup, and so by which you can help to solve the problems. Okay. Next comes to the barriers to the problem. Failures to recognize the problem. Not sure what the problem is all about. Making a hasty choice. Not sure what you want to failure and all consequences. Not have the enough result. So we have to mention different ways to solve each of the problems. Like first we have to define what is the problem. Means differently backed for opinion. Specified underlying causes. State the problem spatially. Then we have to take some alternative solution. Like postpone evaluating alternate initial. Include all involved individual in generating of alternative. Then evaluating and select an alternative. It means we have to set a target standard. All alternate without the basis. Then we can just implement this to solve that problem. Now comes to the brainstorming part. What is a brainstorming? And then we will go to the SWOT analysis. So brainstorming simply means when facing a problem, start by conducting a brainstorming session. Gather your team and encourage an open discussion where everyone contributes ideas no matter how outlandish they may seem. This may help to generate a diverse range of solutions. Encourage all team members to participate creative thinking. How we can remember the brainstorming? Reverse judgment used until the session is encourage wild ideas, combine and improve upon the ideas. Next comes to the root cause. This is one of the type of technique for the problem solving. For effective problem solving, identify the root cause of the issues. A hand is crucial. Try various methods. That is 5 whys. Ask why 5 times to get underlying cause. Fishbone diagram creates a diagram, present the problem and break it down into categories of potential causes. Next comes to the SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So SWOT analysis is a strategic planning and strategic management technique used to help a person or organization to identify the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats related to the business competition or project planning. It is sometimes called situational analysis or situational assessment. This technique is designed for the use in the primarily stages of decision making process and can be used as a tool for evaluating of the strategic position of organization of many kinds. More profit enterprises, local and national government, that is NGOs. It is intended to identify the internal and external factors that are favorable and unfavorable to achieving the objective of the ventures or project. Users of a SWOT analysis often ask and answer the questions to generate meaningful information for each category to make the tool useful and identify their competitive advantage. SWOT has been described as a tired and true tool of strategic analysis, but has also been criticized for its limitations. So, what are the main taxonomy for these four techniques? Strength, characteristics of business or project that give an advantage. List your problem strength such as relevant sources and strong partnership. Identify its weakness such as knowledge gaps or limited sources. Characteristics that place the business or project at a disadvantage relative to other. Next comes to the opportunities. Explore the opportunities like trends or new technologies that could help to solve the problems. Elements in the environment that the business or the project could be an advantage. Next comes to the threats. Recognize potential threats like competitions or regular benefits. Elements in the environment that could cause trouble for the business or the project. Results of the assessment are often presented in the form of matrix or simply as a paragraph. So we are having two factors by doing this analysis, that is this technique. One is your external factor and second is your internal factor. So what is this external or internal factor? Let's discuss that as well. Strength and weaknesses are usually considered internal, while opportunities and threats are usually considered external. The degree to which the internal strengths of the firm matches with the external opportunities is expressed by the concept of strategies. If we are talking about the internal factor are the view as strength or the weaknesses depending upon their effects on the organization's objectives. What may represent strengths with respect to one objective may be weakness, that is distraction or competition for another objective. The factor may include personal finance manufacturing capacity. External factors include microeconomic, technological change, as well as change in the marketplace. A number of authors advocate external factor before the internal factor. Now, what is the use of these analysis? For how we can use it? So, first, strategy building. SWOT analysis can be used to build organizational or personal strategy. The steps necessary to execute strategy-oriented analysis involve identification of internal and external factors, often using the popular 2 into 2 matrix. Selection and evaluation of the most important factor and identification of relation existing between internal and external features. For intense, strong relationship between strength and opportunities can suggest good conditions in the company and allow using an aggressive strategies. On the other hand, strong interaction between weaknesses and traits could be analyzed as a potential warning. So we are having 4 types of component in SWOT. First is WD strategies. Faced with the external threats and internal weakness, how to minimize both weakness and threats. Second, WO strategies. Faced with external opportunities and internal weakness, how to minimize weakness and maximize opportunities. Next is ST strategies. Faced with internal strengths and external threats, how to maximize the strength and minimize the threats. And last, SO strategies. Faced with external opportunities and internal strength, how to maximize both opportunity and strength. Next comes to the corporate planning is one of the use of SWOT analysis. As a part of development of strategies and plan to enable an organization to achieve its objective, that organization will use a systematic process known as corporate planning. SWOT alongside PESTLE can be used as a basic for analysis of internal and environmental factors. So these are also include such factors or such steps like setting objective. Define what the organization is going to do. Second, environmental scanning. Third, internal appraisal of the organization means as assessment of the present situation as well as a portfolio of product, services and analysis of the product service life cycle. Next, analysis of existing strategies. This should determine the relevance from the result of an internal and external appraisal and may include the gap analysis of environmental factor. Next comes to the marketing, how we use in the marketing part. In the competitor analysis, marketers build detailed profile of each competitor in the market. focusing especially on their relative competitive strength and weaknesses. Using SWOT analysis, making manager will examine each competitor, cost structured source of profit, resource and competency, competitive positions and product differentiation, degree of vertical integration. Marketing managers often find it's necessary to invest in the research to collect the data required to perform accurate marketing analysis. According to the management, often conduct market research, alternate marketing research to obtain this information. Marketers employ a variety of techniques to conduct market research, but some of the most common include quantitative marketing research, such as focus group, qualitative marketing research, that is focus group, and quantitative is for strategic survey. Then experimental techniques such as test marks, observational techniques such as on-site observation. Marketing managers may also design and oversee various environmental scanning and competitive intelligent process to help identify trends and involves the company marketing analysis. So I hope this topic has been clear to you. There are various limitations and the alternative of the SWOT analysis. In a brief, I just discuss about that as well. So SWOT analysis is intended as a starting point for decision and cannot in itself show managers how to achieve a competitive advantage, particularly in a rapidly changing environment. So basically in business profession have suggestion various ways to redeem the common problems and limitation of SWOT analysis, which may related to the SWOT framework like SOAR, which means strength, opportunities, aspiration, and result. Is an alternative techniques inspiration by a period inquiry. SOAR has been categorized as having similar reputation as SWOT, such as the inability to identify necessary data. Second, SVOR. SVOR basically means in project management the alternative to SWOT. Known the strength, volunteers, opportunities, risk. Compare the project elements along to access internal as well as the external factors. I hope I have already discussed both the factors and it has been clear to you. It takes into account the mathematical link that exists between these various elements, considering also the role of infrastructure. The SWOT table provides the internal and external sources. So for internal, we focus on total force, not positive way, but in external, we only force on the opportunity. I hope this topic has been clear to you.